નમસ્કાર મિત્રો, ગુજરાત યુટ્યુબ ચેનલમાં આપનું હાર્દિક સ્વાગત છે. આજે આપણે RTO ઇન્સ્પેક્ટરની પરીક્ષાનું ક્વેશ્ચન પેપર અને એના જવાબો જોઈશું. અને મિત્રો, તમે આ ચેનલ પર નવા હો તો સબસ્ક્રાઈબ કરવાનું ભૂલતા નહીં, જેથી તમને પ્રશ્નપત્ર આધારિત ક્વેશ્ચન પેપર અને આન્સર કી તમને મળતી રહે. ચલો વિડીયો આપણે શરૂ કરીએ. The modulus of the rigidity in terms of the modulus of elasticity and the Poisson ratio is given by. तो अंदर આવશે B નંબર આવશે E divided by 2 1 plus okay. Under the uniaxial loading, the shear stress is खाली times the universal stress. So option D, half. For a metal bar of the cross section area A, length L and Young modulus E, the strain energy stored under the action of the tensile load P will be. So option D is correct answer. Maximum bending moment in the cantilever beam of length L and carrying uniformly distributed load of intensity W is option C also. The point of contraflexure lies where the bending moment changes sign. The bending stress in a beam is less if its section modulus is option A, high. The maximum deflection of simply supported beam of length L, Young modulus E and the moment of inertia I carrying a central point load W is the correct answer is option D. Flywheel of suitable dimension attached to crankshaft makes the moment of inertia of rotating parts unite quite khaljiga and the acts reservoir of energy by large. Option is the correct answer. Ninth question. When the torque required by the machine is more than torque supplied by the motor and the flywheel is option is retarded, the distribution of the torsional shear stresses over a cross section of shaft is the maximum at outermost fiber and the zero at the axis of rotation. His option is correct, A correct. Principal stress in the pure torsions are equal magnitude in the tension and compression. Option B is correct. In simply supported beams, the slope is khaljiga at the support. The option D is maximum. Hole factor used in helical spring design takes into the consideration effect of option C is correct. Direct shear stress as well as stress concentration due to the contra curvature. Scotch yoke mechanism is an inversion of a double slider crank chain. Option B is correct. The centrifugal tension in belt drives is B, independent of the tight and slack slide tension. 16th question. For maximum power transmission, centrifugal tension in the belt must be equal to khaljiga of the maximum allowance belt tension and the belt should be on the point of slipping. So option C is 1/3. 17th. In a radial cam, follower moves in direction, the option B, perpendicular to the cam axis. 18th. The path described by the trace point is known as the pitch curve. Option A is correct. In case of rotating masses, the magnitude of the balancing mass is khaljiga when the speed of the shaft is doubled. The option C is correct, unaffected. For the complete dynamic balance, at least khaljiga balancing masses are necessary. So 2 balancing masses are necessary. The magnitude of the gyroscopic couple applied to the disk of moment of inertia I spinning with an angular velocity and having an angular velocity of precession is option D is correct. The axis of spin and the axis of the precession and the axis of the gyroscopic torque are in option C is correct. Three perpendicular planes. In spring masses system, if the mass is halved and the spring stiffness is doubled, then the natural frequency is option B is correct, doubled. The ratio of the amplitude of the steady state response to the forced vibration to the static deflection under the action of the static force is known as magnification factor. Option D is correct. At resonance, the amplitude of the vibration is very large. Option A is correct. Maximum stress in the thick cylinder is hoop stress. Option B is correct. A workpiece having a large hole in it like a pipe can be held on the lathe machine using khaljiga from the inside. The mandrels. In 28, in lathe operation, the distance that the tool advances for the each revolution of the workpiece is called a feed. 29. Which of the following is the driving end of the twist drill? The shank. 13. Clapper box is provided in shear machines to lift the tool during the return stroke. 31. The process of shaping a flat or hollow bank into the three-dimensional holes component without any precipitation changes in sheet thickness is called drawing. Option A is correct. Which of the following pattern is used to produce large number of casting? So a gated pattern. The taper provided to the pattern is for removal is known as draft allowance. Option D is correct. સાચો છે. Which of the following metal forming process proceed using out the material through the hole? હોલ દ્વારા મટીરિયલ બહાર નીકળવા માટે કયું મેટલ ફોર્મિંગ પ્રોસેસ યુઝ થાય છે? તો એમાં એક્સટ્રુઝન આવશે. ઓપ્શન બી. 35. Which of the following manufacturing process is mainly considered for the producing the component of very high strength such as a connecting rod of the engine? So which is the following? તો ઓપ્શન ડી જ forging process manufacturing process છે mainly used થાય છે એમાં. In gas welding, carburizing flame is obtained when acetylene in is excess. Option A is correct. In forehand welding, the torch points into the same direction in which welding is being done. Option C is correct. Which of the following is indirect measuring instrument? Indirect measuring instrument કયા છે નીચેનામાંથી? તો ઓપ્શન ડી none of the above. ઉપરમાંનો એક બી નહીં. The 39. The permissible deviation of the dimension from the desired size is known as tolerance. Option B is correct. The cutting tool life is affected by all of the above. Depth of cut भी होता है, cutting speed भी अंदर feed भी effect करे छे. 41. Which of the following operation is carried out to make the drill hole dimensionally more accurate? So reaming. Option is correct. Which of the following material can be choice for the flat belts used in belt drives? Option D is correct. All of the above. Leather, fabric and rubber. To adjust for the change in the length of the propeller shaft, khaljiga joint is provided. Slip joint is provided. 44. As per uniform wear theory used to obtain the torque transmitting capacity of a friction clutch, pressure is khaljiga. So all of the above. Coefficient friction, axial load, mean effective radius and contact surfaces. As per uniform wear theory used to obtain torque transmitting capacity of friction clutch, pressure is minimum at the outer periphery. For the friction clutch, torque transmission capacity is khaljiga to semi-clone angle. The option C, inversely proportional. In order to avoid breakage of spur gear tooth due to bending, and the beam strength should be khaljiga than the effective force between the meshing teeth. So option A, more. For two parallel helical gear in mesh, ends of helix should be opposite. 49. When two identical bevel gears are mounted on the shaft which are the intersecting at the right angles, they are called Khaljiya gears, the meter gears. The distance measured from the point on the one thread to the corresponding point on the adjacent thread measured along the axis of the worm is called axial pitch. 51. While braking a vehicle is unity coefficient of the friction is achieved between the road and the tire, then Khaljiya, the option C also, brakes are said to be 100% efficient. 52. For the forward moving vehicles with internal expanding drum brakes, when the brakes are applied, the net force exerted on the loading shoe becomes Khaljiya, the net force exerted on the trailing shoes. The option B is more than. By turning up stub axle, is it possible to turn the steering wheel? Then the steering gear is said to be reversible. Ackermann steering mechanism give only Khaljiya position for correct steering. The 3. While alignment refers to position of the front wheels and steering mechanism that gives the vehicle. To all of the above. The tilting out of the front wheels from vertical and when viewed from the front of the vehicles is called option C is positive chamber. When the vehicle will try to move away from the normal direction of motion, therefore to keep it on the right path and a little more steering is required, then theoretically in this condition is called understeer. Okay. And for the lip spring used in suspension, the flexible connection at one end is provided by shackles. Which of the following is of independent suspension? All of the above. Which of the following laws is applicable for the behavior for the perfect gas? The gas looks like glow. The unit of the pressure in SI unit is Pascal. The clock system is one of which mass does not cross the boundaries of system and mass energy may do so. Okay. Specific heat ratio of air at 300 K is equal to 1.4. Which of the following quantity is not a property of the system? The heat. In isothermal process, the internal energy remains constant. According to the first law of thermodynamics, heat and work are mutually convertible. In Carnot cycle, heat is transferred at the option C constant pressure. Thermal plant works on the option C Rankine cycle. Otto cycle consists of following four processes: 2 isentropic and 2 constant volumes. Option B is correct. Platon cycle consists of following four processes: the option D 2 isentropics and 2 constant pressures. The thermal conductivity of iron with rise in temperature normally decrease the same. Which of the following has maximum value of thermal conductivity? The copper. And 73. Khaljiya of the material can be viewed as the ratio of the heat conducted through the material to the heat stored per unit volume. The thermal diffusivity of the material can be used. 74. In solid, Khaljiya is due to combination of variation of the modulus in the lattice and the energy transferred by free electrons, the conduction. Khaljiya, the heat transfer phenomenon in which fluid is forced to flow over the surface by external means to such as a fan or pump. Forced convection. Emissivity of black body is equal to 1. Okay, the fraction of the radiation energy incident on the surface that is absorbed by the surface is called absorptivity also. When the substance is heated and the temperature rises as the heat is added, the increase in heat called sensible heat. According to Khaljiya, the absolute pressure of the given mass of the perfect gas varies inversely when volume when the temperature remains constant. So option C is Boyle's law. In vapor compression system, the state of the refrigerant after compression process is high pressure and high temperature vapor. In SI unit, 1 ton of pressure is equal to option D 210 kJ per minute. In the refrigerant system, the throttle valve is the expansion device. Okay. The refrigerant commonly used in vapor refrigerant system is aqua ammonia. इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोफ्लक्स रेफ्रिजरेंट इज खाली जगह तो वेपर एब्जॉर्प्शन रेफ्रिजरेंट विदाउट